long sound of U can be either U or U. Its short sound is You can say U or U if one of the next two letters is another vowel, the tap two rule, right? If not, if both of those next two letters are consonants, then it says You have learned that EW can say U, that first sound of the long U, or U. So when you're spelling the long U sound, we always try a single letter first. So if U has another vowel in the next one or two spots, you use a U first. Stop, you're done. However, if not, you have to put either an EW or an OO. We're going to learn about OO today. EW is for the end of words. That's where you'll see it at the end. Today we're going to learn about OO, which you'll see in the beginning and in the middle, usually in the middle. And it says ooh most of the time, probably about 65% of the time. The other 45, hopefully I did that math right. If not, let me know, because I'll be curious. If it's 65 and 45 does not equal 100, then that would be funny. Shame on me. I'm a reader, I'm not a mathematician, but I think that maybe 65 and 45 probably equals 100. Most of the time, though, about 65% of the time, that OO is going to say ooh. Not you, just ooh. Only EW can say you. OO will say ooh only, and you'll see it in the beginning and the middle. Sometimes that other 45% of the time it's going to say like we had that well, I don't think we did have a word about, we had mushroom, and that's saying its most common sound, but in words like look or took or book, you can hear that sound. That's the less common sound of OO. Today we're going to be focusing on the most common sound. So when you see OO, it is probably going to say ooh, that second short sound of you. All right, let's start practicing. Let me grab my annotation tool, check this chat. All right, so this C is going to make its hard sound, which is the most common sound for C. Now that one isn't a 65-45. That one is like I'm going to say a 98.5% of the time. Maybe not that much, but a lot of the time, most of the time, definitely most of the time, the C is going to say K. It only won't if the next letter is an E, I, or Y. We're going to have a whole lesson on that in August. So this C is going to say K. Now here's that OO, our new reading hack for the day, that makes the second long U sound and says ooh. OO makes the second long U sound and says ooh. And A at the end makes another kind of U sound. That's why we've been introducing it this month, because it makes the short sound of U and says OO makes the long sound of U, the second one, and says ooh. A at the end of a word makes the short sound of U and says that's the schwa sound. A at the end says the short sound of U. So this word is kupla, kupla, yeah? Go ahead and try yours over here. I'll be quiet while you work. Right. So we know that this OO is going to say ooh, because that's what OO says in the middle of words. And it's only going to come in the middle. It might come at the beginning, like in oops, but that's going to be much more rare than common. Maybe oodles, but most of the time it will be in the middle of a word. So here we have a ooh, A at the end says so our sounds are tupra, tupra, tupra. If you wanted to break that word up, you would break it up right here. That will help you to really focus on the air that comes out of that P. Okay, make sure that there is only air produced by that P. Not any vowel sounds should be attached to it. To pra, to pra, okay? Otherwise, you'll get a whole nother syllable in that word and it will be read incorrectly. All right, so here we have our O again saying oo. A at the end says Our sounds are d, oo, n, d, der, drew. Now, why can't I just spell drew? If that says drew, why can't I spell drew like this? Well, that OO is saved for the middle of words. If you want to spell the oo sound at the end, that's what that EW is for. Okay? This is for the end, this is for the middle, sometimes the beginning. So here's drew, droon, drooned, droonda, droonda. Yeah? Go ahead and try yours over here. Make sure an R sound doesn't sneak in after the D. It might be tempting for your mouth to form that sound accidentally, like it does easily after the F. Can you see how easy it is for that R sound to come in after an F? Fur, it's just as easy for it to come in after a D, but there is no R there, so you can't allow that in. That is where reading errors come from. Reading errors come from sounds coming in where they're not invited. Oh, Shelvia, you might have, there's a new one. There's a new PDF. She's saying that my words are spelled different than these. That's because I optimized these words a little bit just today. So this new PDF is there for you now. Okay, so not allowing any sounds to come in after that D. We have f, oo, n, d, fur, fru, froon, frooned, froonda, froonda. Okay. Now look at number 3. Don't be scared. You can do this. You can do this. You've got the tools, you've got the knowledge, and you've got a teacher here that's going to guide you through it step by step, and then you'll feel more confident when you do this one on your own. But let's do this one together. This G is going to make its hard sound and say G. You will say because there are 2 consonants after it. OO most commonly says oo, just that second sound of the long U, oo. A at the end usually says Our sounds are G, O, S, oo, N, D, one sound at a time. Gul, gla. Make sure that you get the right sound of that vowel, okay? Gla, your jaw is dropped. Glass, glassu, glassoon, glassooned, glassoonda, glassoonda. If you'll notice, this says and this says They both make the same sound but are spelled differently. That's because you can't use a U here. U's don't come at the end of words unless they're a sight word, a true sight word. When you hear at the end, you have to spell it with an A. Okay, try your number 3. And don't ever be afraid to ask a question. Like if you're brand new and you're wondering what this is, just ask. Just ask. That is the symbol for the schwa sound. And the schwa sound is I'm going to give you a little bit more time. This is not an easy one. If you want to, you can divide it right here and right here. Okay, so you have 3 syllables. So this U is going to say because there are two consonants after it. O most commonly says oo. A at the end says Those are our vowels. Now we know what the vowels are going to say. Let's make sure we know what every single grapheme is going to say by dotting each sound. So SH says sh, I'm only going to place one dot underneath both of those M's because we're only dotting sounds, not letters. Ooh, same with that OO. P, ul, All right, so our brain now knows that we know each vowel sound. Our brain now knows that we know each grapheme in the whole word. Now the only thing between us and reading that full word correctly is the blending of those sounds together without letting any other sounds in or out or transposed. That's why we connect the dots. And it helps if you can do it with your hand, your eye, your ear, and your mouth all at the same time, making it a multisensory experience and not letting one go ahead. Like not letting your pencil go ahead, drawing that line while your eye and your mouth are still over here on the SH. Make sure that they're all together, keeping things nice and organized, and then you will prevent any other sounds coming in. Now, sometimes it's hard when you're reading a multi-syllable word like this that's very long to remember what those beginning sounds were by the time you get to the middle and the end. So that's why we do this successive blending technique, so that you can go back to the beginning and then grab just one more sound. Go back to the beginning, grab just one more sound. So you're really only blending two parts. You're blending that first part that you already have, and then one more new little sound. Then you have a whole new part that you already have, and then adding one new sound. You're just blending two parts, two sound parts together when you do that. So instead of using those lines for dividing those syllables, I'm going to do that successive blending technique. So we have sh, oo, p, ul, sha, shum, shamoo, shamoop, shamoopul, shamoopla, shamoopla. Now, I really want to know how you did on shamoopla. Would you let me know in the chat, yes, you got it, or A, you almost got it? Because I bet you almost got it if you didn't. Nice. Look at that. Would you look at that? This is why you guys give me sweet dreams at night. Amazing. We have a couple A's, don't you worry. Actually, we have more than a couple A's. So you are not the only one that got an almost, but I bet your almost was so close. I bet it was. I bet it was so close. Let's try another one. Let's try number 4. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get this. Then you're gonna join me in having sweet dreams tonight. All right, so this SH says shh. The most common spelling for OO is oo. I mean sound for OO is oo. This U says because of those two consonants after it, and A at the end also says So we have sh, oo, n, f, d, shoe, shoon, shoonf, shoonfa, shoonfud, shoonfudda, shoonfudda. Okay, here comes yours. Go for it. Take your time. You've got this. If you're feeling pretty confident about it after you try it, put a C in the chat for I'm feeling pretty confident. Nice. Nice. Wow, lots of C's are coming through. Okay. Look at that. All right, so our C is going to say k, right? Always until I tell you different. OO says oo. This U says because of those two consonants after it. A at the end says So we have k, l, oo, k, a, p, a, kl, clue, clume, clunk, clunka, clume cup, clume cuppa, clume cuppa. How did you do? Y or A? Clume cuppa. Okay, I'm seeing that those who are confident, they got it. 100% for today. It's getting easier. Ah, thank you for telling me that. 100%, you get a gold star. You have to go to the store, buy a pack of stars that, you know, the kind that the teacher used to put on the chart on the wall, that a lot of us never really got to put a gold star on the spelling test chart. You go to Target, go to Walmart, buy yourself a gold star and put it somewhere where you can see it, because 100%, my goodness, that is. Now, those of you who didn't get 100%, he's been here for how long? Almost 2 years, maybe? Almost 2 years. And he got 100% today. That is amazing. Gold star for you. Long, long time, he says. Oh, good job. All right, we have 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can fit in a extra practice word here. If you have one that you'd like for me to try with you, let me know. Put it in the chat. Anne-Marie got a what? Nice. Okay, number 7. All right. And those of you who just told me that you got 100%, you're getting lots of applause in the chat. Lots of congratulations to them. They're happy for you. That makes me happy. All right, number 7. So we have a oo here because of the tab 2 rule. We have an here because of the tab 2 rule. This oo says oo. Our reading hack for the day, and a at the end says Take your time, go for it. Focus on this R. If there's going to be a hard letter in this word, it's going to be that R. Okay. All right. So we have prune, pruna. Do it with me. Prunus, prunust, prunustu, prunustude, prunustuder, prunustudra, prunustudra, prunustudra. My goodness, that was hard. That was hard. I don't even think I got that one right. I mean, I read it right, but that was not easy. I probably could have read it better. You might have read it better than me. Prunustudra. That dra at the end, that's kind of hard. Phew! How was that for a brain workout for today? You feeling it? Go get yourself a star. Even if you got all A's, all almosts, that was a solid B+, and B pluses get stars. You guys, you're doing better than you think you are. You now know that OO says ooh almost always. And you know that it comes in the beginning and middle of words. You're learning how to blend to the end with precision. You're learning that A's at the end say You're learning, and more than you think you are, and it's sinking in more than you might think. I make these words really hard. So it's the words that are challenging, not your ability to grasp the content. So keep coming. We're going to keep repeating, and pretty soon you're going to master it, and then it's going to feel so good. All right, my friends, have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.